All right, guys, here we go on the 299 edition of the Fight Bananas podcast. My main man now, UFC fighter Jamie Pickett. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. We're just talking off air, man. We overcome and adapt here on the show, and you do as well as a fighter. My main man, third time was a charm, Dana White Contender Series. How are you feeling this week getting the job done?
I feel a great relief.
Right. My man, one of my favorite words in the English dictionary is redemption. And I just felt a lot of that watching you. I'm a huge fan of the Contender Series. In a weird way, funny, probably, no idea. I was at your fight at the Puna Soriano fight at the Contender Series 2 years ago. And I loved your style back then. And I was like, man, sometimes they just put up these crazy matchups because Puna's a stud of his own. I saw you say his name after the fight. Is that definitely a fight you want to get back?
Yes, it is. Not because I don't like him, just because when I fought him, people don't understand. I don't like to make excuses, but when I fought him, I posted it after the fight. I had a torn hamstring when I fought him.
Holy crap.
And so a lot of my going forward was hurting.
Right.
Like, it was hurting me the whole time. But Puna is good. Puna's a really good fighter, and he deserved that win, and I think he deserves to be in the UFC. But the only reason why I want to fight him is because I want a fair fight.
Right.
I want to fight. If he beats me healthy, then, okay. 'Cause he's a good guy, and I like him a lot. But I'm the kind of person, I'm very competitive.
Right. Oh,
and,
you got to be, for one, to be a mixed martial artist. 2, to be in the UFC, the toppest level of the game. And then 3, we've seen you come back and forth. And I love that. It's crazy. A lot of, people in the media and a lot of fans, they're scared of the losses, right? I don't. I like him. I like that Justin Gaethje lost 2 in a row. It made him the fighter that he is today, and you can argue pound for pound right now the hottest thing going. I like your lineup, man. I like what you did, the roller coaster, the comeback. I think that would be a hell of a fight, you versus Puna Soriano. Puna's been on the show before. Like you said, good guy, like him a lot. I just think that's a great fight for you guys.
I think it is too. I mean, Puna, I love Puna to death. I think he's the nicest guy I've ever fought. And I don't, like I said, I don't want to fight him because I don't like him. I like Puna more than anybody fought. Him and Blaine Thomas are just nice people. But I just want to fight him because it wasn't fair, man. He got a shot, and he definitely should be in the UFC. He's undoubtedly a prospect. He deserves to be in the UFC.
Right.
I am so competitive, and I know if we fight again, it will not go the same because I can post it when I get off this phone. I mean, I posted it after the fight on Instagram. I had a detachment from the top of my hamstring and a hole in the bottom of my hamstring.
Damn.
When I fought him. I fought like that.
Right.
And I was just hurting the whole time, and I was like, I just could not move forward. So the whole time I was just trying to counterpunch Puna because I was hurting.
Right.
But
man,
fighting healthy is a whole different story.
Absolutely, man. We saw that too, especially you coming out of the second round. I do want to hit on that, but I kind of one last thing on the Soriano. For one, yeah, he's 7-0, like you said. Definitely a caliber UFC fighter. Definitely someone on the rise in that middleweight division. He hasn't been matched up yet in this whole kind of Corona pandemic and all of that nature, and everyone's been matched up. I'd be interested to see if they can put you guys back together. You saw what they did with Impa Kasanganay, who's another middleweight, been on the show as well. They matched him up quick. Is that something that you would love to do? Would you like to turn around real fast, or would you like to, ease off the brakes, get your body right, get your mind right, and maybe fight at the end of the year?
They already got me matched up already. I'm already fighting them.
Oh, they do? Are you allowed to say it or announce it?
I can't say, but it's in the works of me fighting like really, really soon. Like, put it this way, I'm on the way to the gym now.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I'm here helping my nephew with his homework, and I'm going to the gym.
My man. Well, congratulations on that, brother. That's awesome, brother.
Yes, thank you so much.
Man, and that's what I mean. I love it. The UFC is not playing around, and there's people, and I love that you're already back in it, and Impa's one of those guys too. I talk to him all the time. Some people say they're about it, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'll come back in 2 weeks notice. And then there's people that do come back on 2 weeks or 3 weeks, like yourself or Impa Kasanganay. So that's awesome, man. Wow.
Well, me and Impa train together.
Oh, I did know that. Joe Selecki talked about you. Oh, it's all coming together.
Yeah, me, Joe, John Salter, Impa, Ricky Rain, all of us, Hot Sauce, we all train together.
Man, that's the best gym in the world, brother. That gym's on fire. I love that gym.
Where our gyms are connected, like
right.
PCFP
Yep.
and Jimmo. So, I mean, Impa's a really, really good guy, really talented.
Yeah.
Hot Sauce is, I mean, people don't understand Hot Sauce is so good.
I know.
And such a nice person. And he'll give you a shirt off his back. All of them will. And, you know, our leader, of course, is John Salter. And that's the person who leads our team. I think Hot Sauce leads theirs. But our teams are connected.
Man, I'm loving this. Look at this small world. I remember, I just had Joe Selecki on a couple of days ago, and he mentioned you. He was so happy that you, won, and he was talking about you winning on the Contender and moving on. And then, it kind of reconnected right there. So, gosh, that's awesome. Okay, round one was a back and forth round. Patty was tough as nails. But then round two, man, I just felt like I can see it right in your face. You're like, okay, this ain't happening. Like, I'm just going to get the job done, and it is what it is. I just felt like you came out of round two, on fire. Did you have that same feeling, or was this me just kind of, playing movie star here?
No, it was just like I was being kind of lazy in the first round. And I was kind of giving them too much. I was trying to fill them out too much.
Right.
And I watched how Joe Selecki and John train for their fights. And these guys, I mean, John and Joe both are like machines in the gym. Like, I'm the lazy one. So they're making me do what they do. So I'm training just as hard as they are now. And I'm just like, God, I see why you guys are doing as good as you are. So they're pushing me and making me do things. And I remember them telling me, your whole body can get tired, but one thing that won't get tired is your legs. We're going to make sure of that.
Right.
So they've had me on that assault bike every day almost, burning my legs out. So I said, I can sprint across this whole cage 1,000 times and won't be tired. I was like, why not just let my hands go right now? That's what I was thinking. I was like, just take off right now. I was like, if I get knocked out, I'll get knocked out.
Yeah.
But, damn it, I tried. So that's what I did.
Oh, my gosh. That's amazing. That's a great story. Guys, we're talking here, Jamie Pickett, UFC middleweight with a fight on the way. We're so excited for him. Follow him on the Instagram, Jamie Pickett MMA. So you were saying, if you're calling yourself lazy, I don't know. That puts all of us other men to shame, brother. You can tell you work out, you do the thing. What is it about the MMA game? Like, what was it that connected to you years and years ago? Because, when I looked you up, man, you were amateur in 2008. We're in 2020 now. This is a long, long journey. You got to be tough-minded, tough-willed to still be in the game. What is it? What's that little thing that you got that others don't?
Man, I come from a small town. We don't even have a stoplight, stop signs. Come from poverty, which a lot of people have this story, but my story is a little different. So me growing up where I come from, ain't nobody really done nothing. And I just want to be one of those people that stick out. I want to be one of those people that say, I come from this small town where there's meth and poverty everywhere, and I did something. I brought something back to this town and doing things, build my town up. Like I do free cookouts every year. I don't know if they tell you about that, but I do a free cookout every year for my whole community.
No, that's awesome, man.
Games and stuff for kids and stuff like that. I'm really big in the community. I'm really big with my nieces and nephews. I take them out and do stuff with them all the time. And now I got my own kid of my own, so I just want to be a matriarch of sort, like somebody that they all can be like, hey, Jamie Pickett came from here.
Right.
We ain't gotta do this. We ain't gotta do whatever they want us to do. We ain't gotta get talked down about. Jamie Pickett come from this town. That's what really makes me want to do more. That all these kids, whenever they talk about, oh, we got LeBron James, or I'm not saying I'm on his level, but they can say, we got this person that came here. J. Cole came from here. I like my nieces and nephews and my daughter and my cousins. They can say, well, Jamie Pickett come from my town.
Right. So that's real talk.
That's a big thing for me. So I'm not going to stop. All I'm going to do is just keep pushing. I'm going to try to walk through everybody.
Man, that's a great story. I love it. Here we go, guys. We're talking Jamie Pickett. So much is going on right now in the UFC. They are just blowing through shows. Great stuff at the Apex. Of course, all the UFC fight nights, big pay-per-views. Looks like they're going back to Fight Island in September. I've talked to someone off air that said, yep, they got booked to, Abu Dhabi. I don't know if that's you or not. You don't have to say anything, but, they're definitely going back there in the near future. There's a couple fights, especially in your division, middleweight division, the cream of the crop. I love both fights. All four studs. Would love your take on it, your pick, your prediction. Let's go right to the top, the championship bout. How about Izzy versus Costa for the middleweight championship of the world?
I don't see anybody beating Israel right now.
Okay.
He's too on his game. He's too focused. He's too dialed in. You give him a few titles matches and he starts to feel himself more. Like I don't have to put the hard work in. Then somebody will get him. But right now, he's just not stopping. It's going to be a minute before he loses.
I tell people, you can't dye your hair that pink and not be ready. You know what I mean? You don't see any soft people coming in with those flamingo shirts like Dustin Poirier wears. You got to be a badass if you got those shirts with that hair, right? But okay, you got Izzy, and then the next one, I might even like this fight more than the championship fight. I'm a huge Robert Whittaker guy. We got Robert Whittaker, the Reaper versus Jarrett Kinnear. That is a legit sick fight. Who comes out of that one?
Man, I don't know. Them two, I don't know, man. That's a fight. They both were. Wait, I think Jerry came down from light heavyweight.
Light heavy. Yep.
Yeah, Whittaker came up. So, I don't know. That's a toss up, man. I can't predict that fight. I don't know. We all win. We win. That's who wins. He wins.
No, you're so right. Like he came back down, so he lost to Dominic Reyes and Jan Bakovic, who's both fighting for the light heavyweight championship. Then he comes down to
beating Dominic.
He was until it's the game, right? You know what I mean? Then he moves back down here to middleweight and wins 3 in a row. And I'm talking about Branch, Anderson, the Goat Silva, Jack Hermanson. We know how good Jack is, and now he's fighting Whittaker. Like, God, Kinnear is like, I think he's underrated. I think he is
very underrated, man.
Because one thing I looked about you as well too, and I talked to this about Joe Selecki. I don't know if you listened. I think you were fighting on the Contender Series when he was on. I really like and appreciate and respect people's lineups. You know what I mean? Every lineup is different. You can tell people that got to 6-0 or 8-0 and they fought 3 wins combined. You know what I mean? Like, even sometimes in the UFC, you can see like, I'm not sure. I'm looking at Kinnear. All I see is Reyes, Silva, Glover Teixeira, Jack Hermanson. He's beaten just some of the best guys in the world. And then I looked at your lineup as well. Like, to get in the UFC, like, you didn't mess around. You were tough matchups, main event type of stuff to get you ready for this spot. And now you're going to be fighting here, a couple weeks or a month or so off. And, man, I think you're going to be ready, man. We are so excited here for you here at Fight Bananas.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I'm just going to grow as much as I can, train as much as I can, and just learn as much as possible from everybody. That's the thing for me. I ask white belts questions, and I tap out black belts all day long. I'll ask anybody a question. Joe, I'm pretty sure Joe gets irritated at me asking questions I ask like questions that I know the answer to, just to reassure myself. Like, I'll ask Joe, "How do you do a rear naked choke?" And he'll just look at me like, "What? You just choke the guy?" Like,
yeah.
And I'm one of the best people in the gym in jiu-jitsu, but I'll ask crazy questions like, "How do you set up your head kick?" Like, I just pick brains about how people set up different things to see if it'll work better for me. Like, I just ask questions.
Right, you got to in the game, man. There's at middleweight, everyone's 185 pounds the day before. You know what I mean? Some people are maybe a little bit taller, a little bit shorter, but you guys are all in that same category. It's all a mindset. It's all the mentality of the game, the fight game,
right.
What you take into the octagon learning. And, like you said, you're asking Joe Selecki. You're asking some of the best fighters in the world with Impa, Bam Bam, Hot Sauce, Selecki. It's like, you're gathering knowledge from, top-end UFC fighters.
Yeah, I've asked Impa, "Hey, man, how you get off your back?" And he looks at me like, "What? Like, you get off your back all the time?" I'm like, "Yeah, but how do you do it?" Like, I just ask questions, and people they look at me like I'm weird, but I'm like, "Hey, I ask these questions, but once I have it, I just don't forget it. But I'll ask again just to reassure myself." But if you can't learn from everybody,
right,
or you're not willing to learn from everybody, I don't think you're gonna grow so much. So I don't think Israel and Anderson and GSP and John Jones, I don't think these people got there by not asking.
Oh, of course, man. It's like a whole village to raise a child, whatever the saying is. Same thing with a fight game, man. It takes a whole team. It takes a nutritionist. You know what I mean? It takes people to help you on weight cutting. Maybe you're a better weight cutting than you were 5, 8, 10 years ago. You know what I mean? It's a full team.
When you think you know so much that you can't be taught anything, you're only going to go down. Yeah, my grandmother was a school teacher. She's retired now. And she used to say, if you don't know, ask. If you're not sure, ask. And so that's just something that I do. I ask questions. Whether I know it or not, I ask just to see what you're going to say, just to see how you do it.
Love it, guys. We're talking with Jamie Pickett, 11-4 middleweight for the UFC. Follow him at Jamie Pickett MMA on Instagram. My man, I'm super excited. We connected. Definitely part of the lineup. We can't wait to talk to you. Maybe the fight announcement right before the fight week of, or right after your victory in the UFC. We'll definitely chit chat again. But the platform is yours. Anything you want to sponsors or anything you do want to talk back to the your community, the platform is absolutely yours, my man.
All right, just want to say thanks for having me on, and I appreciate all the support I've been getting on all the social media. I love all you guys. I want to thank my community and where I'm from, Deep Bottom and Chinquapin, Duplin County, the whole North Carolina, my promotion team, LCA Promotions, my gym, PCSP, Saucy Dogs Jiu-Jitsu, my other gyms, which is Rose Hill Kickboxing and Embrace in Raleigh, and Jimmo's in Charlotte as well. I love all you guys, and I'll be training and I'll be putting on a good show for you guys when I fight soon. I can't say the date, but when I do fight, I promise you I will bring all that I have.
Love it. My man, I'm just so excited for you. Jamie Pickett back into the UFC very, very soon. We'll talk to you real soon, my man, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, brother. All right, guys, what a great talk right there with Jamie Pickett. Now, UFC fighter. Man, I forgot he was a part of the whole Jimmo family. Like, gosh, it's like every other phone call. It's like even I talked to Impa. He put out that great video on his social media platforms. I had no idea he was doing it. It was really cool that we were in the background of Fight Bananas and my voice. I was talking to him. It's kind of funny. That video was from this 2020, January 1st. The day my daughters were born as well, twin girls. Oof. And we put a prospects to watch going forward. And I don't want to be that guy, but the 4 prospects to watch was Impa Kasanganay, who's fighting for the UFC. Tomorrow. That's going to happen. Shawar Blackledge, who's fighting on the Contender Series around 10 days from now. Dustin Scrappy Lampros, who, if you know, you know. Absolute stud. Should be fighting on UFC Fight Pass very, very soon. And then K-Rock, Kayla Haracha, who's an absolute stud down there, American Top Team. Is going through it right now, has 2 really tough fights, fought like some veteran fighters and, in this weird time. But, I still have money. Like, I'll still put money into her stock all day long. Like, I'm a Kayla fan. I love her game, and I foresee her bouncing back tenfold. We saw it, and it's kind of funny. We're here with Kayla, and we just got off the phone with Jamie. Appreciate him coming on the podcast. Much love, and yeah, he's fighting very soon. And that's something I wanted to hit on. Was I talked to so many guys, girls, UFC, top end regional guys, professional 304 or 50, and it's like I keep looking at all these records. I keep seeing them, and it's like how many times I talk to people that are 4-0, 7-0, 10-1. And it's like, in a fight, 99.9% of the time, other than a draw, one person wins and one person loses. It's a 50-50 coin toss. Of course, if you come in and you bring more talent and you train with, at Jimmo and get better and learn and ask, and like what Jamie Pickett does, you're going to win more often than you're going to lose. But it's like it's a tough fist fight. You know what I mean? It's a fight inside a octagon. And where are all the losses? I talked to so many people. Like I said, even Jamie's record's phenomenal, 11-4. How many times? Look at Masvidal's record. I'm not scared of losses. Justin Gaethje had 2 in a row. Stipe. I'm not scared of L's. To me, Chito Vera, maybe one of the hottest guys in the business. When you get an L, when you get a couple L's, I like when they come back. I think they're a better fighter. Almost, I would say 95% of the time, after a loss, that fighter gets better. He learns. He goes, okay, shit, I was taken down too easily. I got to work on my grappling game. I got to work on my transitions. I got to get better at that. And they were phenomenal already on the hand, so now when they perfect that, you almost never perfect mixed martial arts, but when you get better at that skill set, oh, now I can grapple? Now I can get off my back? Oh, and I got hands. I can kickbox anyone in the world. That's when a champion is made. That's when a UFC superstar is made. I'm not scared of losses. Shit happens. We just heard of Jamie Pickett, and I don't think it's an excuse. I think it's a reason. I don't think it's a dog ate my homework. His last fight, the contender versus Puna Soriano, who we love that kid. We love him. We respect the hell out of him. We cannot wait to see him back in the octagon. He had a torn hamstring. Fighters will fight. You can't. If the UFC calls me right now and goes, "Hey, Dave, the Contender Series, Laura Sanko, the greatest in the business. If you guys listen to the podcast, you know we love Laura. She's been on multiple times. Laura Sanko might be one of the most underrated, parts of the UFC. What she does for the Contender Series is by far almost better than any other commentator, host, all of that. We love us some Laura Sanko. But just say Laura Sanko gets sick, and they're like, hey, Dave, you're the male version of Laura Sanko. We want you on the Contender Series. We want you to announce Jamie, Nightwolf, Pickett, and then ask him 2 questions, ask him about his family and ask him about, the word redemption. Okay, I can do that. I might be pretty goddamn good at it, by the way. But if I'm sick, what I'm getting at, if I'm sick and if I'm not feeling good and, my body's just not right, sometimes you're just not 100, right? You got a migraine, you got a sprained ankle, you got whatever it is. Oh, if the UFC calls, damn sure I'm taking it. I'm running with it. DAB, I'm going to the Daytona Beach airport right now. Hopefully they give me first class. And I'm flying off to Nevada, Las Vegas, to the Apex. I'll be there. And that's what fighters do. We talked to Christian Lawson and his parents on the Submission Collision podcast that I was on. Big ups to that. Loved it. Christian wasn't 100% in his Contender Series fight, but you have to take it. It's an opportunity that only comes sometimes, most of the time, once in a lifetime. You have to take opportunities when it's allotted to you in the fight game. It's a must. I'll do it. Jamie will do it. Christian did it. And every goddamn person that I talked to on the show would do it. So some people say he's 11-4 and they're like, oh, 4 losses. I love it. Jamie, I love those 4 losses. I respect the 4 losses. I think you're going to go on a goddamn winning streak. You fight like you did out of the second round. We're going to put some wins, some W's on that side. So I don't know where some of these records, I just see 6-0 and 7-0s all the time. And, it's awesome. I know Khabib Nurmagomedov is 28-0. That's pretty damn impressive. I get it. He might be the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. We'll see. He's got 2 more fights to maybe, put that into granite. But lastly, I am just not afraid of losses. I'm just not. I think it builds character. I think it builds who you are. All right, guys, we're going to be closing down the show. I'm Dave Van Auken. Follow me on all social media platforms at David Van Auken. Hit me up on the Twitter. By the way, talking about Twitter, Fight Bananas is finally on Twitter. We've had a battle, which is kind of funny. We had Fight Bananas on Instagram, then it had to become Fight Bananas Official. And we had Fight Bananas on Twitter for 5-7 years, and then, I wasn't a part of it, and we just didn't know how to sign in. We just thought we were just going to let it go, and we were going to make Fight Bananas Official on Twitter. It's kind of funny. I'm going to wrap this up with a Laura Sanko story. So we were going to let it go and start anew, And we go to the Fight Bananas Twitter game, and we see Bam Bam and we see Laura Senko giving us that follow. We're like, holy shit, we got to get it. We got to figure it out. So we called Twitterville, and we got to figure it out. So now, guys, on Twitter is Fight Bananas. Give us a follow. We're going to put every podcast on it. We're going to have our writer, Ross Markey, talk on it. He's going to throw out some, stories and some fight breakdowns on it. We're just going to throw out a ton of content on Fight Bananas. I think I'm going to write some stuff on it, but we're just going to build that Fight Bananas platform. So give us a follow on Fight Bananas on Twitter. Man, Jamie Pickett, appreciate you and your time. All of our supporters out there, Fusion CBD Products, check them out at fusioncbdproducts.com. And Still Nutrition, check them out at nstillnutrition.com. Take that joint jiu-jitsu I do every single day and give them a follow on the IG. That's Still Nutrition. Also, guys, our family at Mako Tech Mouthguards, give them a follow on the IG. They would love it. They would appreciate it. Mako Tech, TEK_Mouthguards. I think they supply the mouthguards for our guy, Impa Kasanganay. And maybe in the future, Jamie Pickett. There you go. We're just building, we're building bridges here. That's what we do on Fight Bananas. We build bridges. Hopefully you guys will have a great weekend. This is episode 299. Episode 300 is around the corner. We're so excited. Guys, stay blessed this weekend. Stay safe. And we'll talk to you very, very soon for Fight Bananas 300.